everyone, welcome to another episode of News You Can Use on HHTV. I'm your host, Lexi Brooks. We have a really great show for you as students and teachers across the district have been busy with all sorts of activities. You'll get to see families having fun at Hollowell's annual fall reading night, and students at the high school make some delicious meals for their Food for Life class. But we'll start with teachers being recognized for grants they received from the HHEF. The Hatboro-Horsham Educational Foundation is a nonprofit organization created to encourage the excellence and to enhance and enrich educational opportunities offered to the students of the Hatboro-Horsham School District. Take a look at some of this year's grants.
Steve Jobs has been quoted as saying that innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. The teachers who are current and past ILG recipients must be considered leaders in their classrooms, in their schools, and in the district. Their creative thinking and innovative response to their own questions about how to make learning engaging, productive, and dare we say fun has led them to redesign their classrooms, their lessons, and experiences they have with their students. There are leaders in terms of how technology, the arts, outdoor resources, changes to the physical structure of the classroom, and real-time student response have enhanced teaching and learning for children from kindergarten through 12th grade. HHEF is privileged to have granted teachers over $160,000 this year in grants in support of their leadership to advance innovative experiences for themselves and their students.
Hi, I'm Christian Bonner and this is Mary Beth Krevling. We did the Sustaining 9th Grade Technology and Physical Science Grant. It's wireless handhelds that enable the students to take temperature or connect other sensors to measure all kinds of measurements in science classrooms. And they have wireless capabilities this year that are really engaging the students and bringing them into the forefront of 21st century skills.
Christian and I would really like to thank the HHEA for their donation for us, for their grants, because without that, there's no way our students would be able to have this technology. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, we're from the World Language Department at Keith Valley Middle School. Our grant was for iPad minis. It was called Increasing Engagement and Fluency in the World Language Classroom. So far, we've used the iPads to just enhance the 21st century skills of the students. We use different apps like Duolingo and Quizlet, and MindSnacks, Brainscape, and just different things where they can interact with the iPads and just kind of bring the languages to life.
On behalf of our language department, we want to thank you so much for affording us the opportunity to offer these 21st century skills to the kids in the form of the mini iPads. Thank you so much.
Merci.
Gracias. Danke.
I'm Nancy Lynn Cecilia, and thank you so much HHEF for the 7th grade media literacy lab that we got 15 Mac laptops to use with all the 7th grade students this year to add the 21st century skills that we would like to incorporate into our curriculum. We have 5 essential question units, and these laptops will allow us to use GarageBand and iMovie and incorporate digital storytelling within our Who Am I unit. The students will continue to work on our media unit where they create commercials, and there's video components to that, and we'll be able to use, again, the iMovie for that. They'll use GarageBand to create jingles, so it just allows us to use the technology in our classrooms for every 7th grader to use this year. So thank you so much. We really appreciate everything you've done for us over the years, and we look forward to writing more grants in the future. Thanks.
Our grant was for the Brain Break Room, and this is for students to use for sensory and for de-escalation before they go into the classroom. So it helps students to get out some of their extra energy before they go into the classroom and to recharge their brain. So some of the equipment we brought with us tonight, these are the stepping stones. They're to help with balance and coordination. And then we also have the sound tube, so that gets their sense of sound going before they go into the classroom. We want to thank HHEF for providing us with this grant. We're hoping that it helps our students to be more successful in the classroom, and we're also looking forward to getting more grants to improve this Brain Break Room.
Hi, my name is Krista Green. I'm a Spanish teacher at the high school, and the grant I received this year is called I Speak Spanish, and we put 30 iPads into the hands of my students. I have about 90 students right now, and every day or every other day my students are using the iPads and different innovative apps
to learn Spanish. They're practicing, they're repeating, they're creating digital stories, they're playing games, they're using Instagram and Quizlet, and they're just enjoying learning Spanish and practicing every day. I just want to say a big shout out to HHEF for this grant, and thank you so much, and my students are loving it and they're speaking Spanish.
The grant was called Lights, Camera, Make the Action, and this is actually the 7th grant that we've gotten for the HHTV department and the HHTV crew. Over the years we've developed curriculum, and it's been amazing because the HHEF is the only way that we've funded that department for those courses. This one in particular, Lights, Camera, Make the Action, was all about filmmaking and young filmmakers and getting them the equipment that actually is the same stuff that they're using at some of the top level film schools in the country and the world. These are big time cameras, these have big sensors in them, and they give a real Hollywood look. We've been kind of getting by with camcorders and some of the other like low end stuff over the years. This was a way for us to be in touch with what these kids will use if they go on to film school, if they go on to the top level colleges. They're going to be using the same equipment they used then. So the impact was felt immediately through both the HHTV film camps as well as the curriculum of film production, TV production, and advanced TV and film production.
Thanks to the HHEF for all their generous donations to the students of Hatboro-Horsham, and thanks to the teachers for their creativity and innovation in sculpting their grants. The students of Hatboro-Horsham greatly appreciate it. Hallowell held their 2nd annual Fall for Reading Night to help show students the importance and joy of reading. In addition to storytelling, there were singing activities, healthy snacks, and other games. Students and families came out to have a good time and show students how much fun reading can be.
Once upon a time, in a nursery rhyme, there were the 3 bears, cha, cha, cha. Now here's what you guys sound like. Cha, cha. You have to say the words loud and clear. Once upon a time, in a nursery rhyme, there were the 3 bears, cha, cha, cha. Now that loud again, this time with the beat. Ready?
Welcome to Hallowell's annual Fall for Reading event. We are here celebrating reading, wellness, all Hallowell family community, Hallowell family members, past teachers, along with present teachers are here to celebrate our wonderful evening.
Johnny wore a tin pot on his head, and it protected him from the sun and weather, and he also used it to cook. Johnny Appleseed lived off the land, and he would make all kinds of stew.
We will have singing events, healthy snacks, reading stations, and just basically fun fall activities to help celebrate reading.
My next story is about the Jersey Devil. Have you ever heard of the Jersey Devil? Again, my name is Sinclair. The unicorn! The unicorn!
We're here to celebrate and to encourage kids to read for enjoyment, to read for information, and just to have fun while reading.
Creating a fun environment associated with reading is a helpful way to spark interest in and promote the value of reading. Students, teachers, and family members came together and created a fun-filled night of reading appreciation. Another annual event is the Veterans Day Breakfast at Keith Valley. The breakfast is organized by the Student Council and is meant to show appreciation for veterans, both past and present. Each year, attendance has grown as the word has spread, and this year continued that trend.
every year it's gotten bigger and bigger. I think this year we're expecting close to 400 guests. Through our KB Connects program, during our advisory program, we had an activity where advisories wrote thank you letters, thanking veterans for their service to our country and preserving freedom.
You know, sometimes you don't know if people appreciate what you've done. Sometimes it goes unnoticed, but these are little reminders, and from the children, it means a lot to me. In fact, the one I have in my pocket I read, I had to hold back the tears because it means a lot to me. I'm old school. You know, you don't have to shower with me with gifts. All you have to do is say thank you, and that means the world to me. And that's what everybody here has done, and I really appreciate it.
We showed up earlier to set up. We put a bunch of cards on the tables for the veterans, and then we are going to serve the food when more veterans pile in. So it's going to be pretty fun. These veterans, you know, they risk their lives to protect us so we could walk the streets safely. It's just amazing, so I'm really looking forward to it.
What we want to do is to link our community here to KV with the idea of honoring service.
Today is a wonderful day to celebrate the service that many of you have given for our country. At this time, I'd like to introduce Representative Tom Murt to share a few words with us.
It's great to be here with my friend and my colleague, Representative Todd Stevens, and just want to, first of all, thank the Keith Valley community for sponsoring this breakfast annually. What a great opportunity it is to bring together, to thank, and to recognize all of our veterans. Special thanks and special recognition to all of our veterans. It's because of our veterans that we're able to assemble here in peace and in freedom and independence, and we thank them for giving us the best years of their life.
I really just wanted to get up and say thank you. I have the sort of the ultimate privilege of participating in our democracy on a daily basis. You know, some people vote every 6 months. In my line of work as a state representative, I get to vote just about every day. And the only reason I have that opportunity and that privilege is because of the work that all of you did. So I just wanted to take a minute and say thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. May God bless you, may God bless America, and I look forward to seeing you back here again next year. Thank you.
It started really with family members of students so they could come together and kind of connect that way. It's a lot of work. We have our 8th grade administrative staff, Mr. Eworth, Mrs. Ruggiero, Mr. Yaya, who's one of our teachers, is also a veteran, really has kind of taken the mantle for this, and they've really tried to expand it outwards to honor all of our veterans.
It's clear the veterans really appreciate the recognition Keith Valley shows them every year. It's important to connect older generations with younger ones and to help create an understanding of the sacrifices made by our armed forces. It's never too soon to think about post-secondary education, and the high school is helping students by holding a college fair featuring almost 90 institutions. Students from all grade levels had the chance to speak with representatives and learn about what schools have to offer.
This is our 5th year of running the college fair. We started our first year with just doing like mini fairs. Maybe 15 schools would come out at a time. And now we're up to about 90 colleges, universities, trade schools, and the military, as well as we're also featuring all 12 programs that we have over at Eastern. We have places like Arizona, we have the American University of Paris is here. Just getting past, I think, the Pennsylvania state schools and our local schools where students just typically will go to, and maybe looking at there are other options out, you know, in other states, whether that's the West Coast, you know, up north, south, things like that, as well as also to let them know that there's trade schools, our community colleges are also wonderful opportunities. Again, low cost, get your credits done, and then you can transfer to another four-year university.
The college fair has been really helpful because I get to see a majority of the colleges that are around our area, as well as ones that are out of state, and get to ask the people who are actually at these tables questions that I may have. My main question was, do you have a great theater program or a good hotel business management program?
When I go to the college fair,
What I get out of it is I get to talk to all the different school representatives and find out what each school has to offer me. Like, if you don't get the chance to like go and visit the campus and like actually get to ask students like what life is about, these people kind of give you the opportunity to kind of find out like what each school has to offer you and like what kind of majors you might be interested in pursuing. They get to talk to you about that sort of stuff, and it's really insightful.
Well, I think we try to build on it every year. I think something that we started last year that makes it unique is we do have representatives and the programs and students come over from our Eastern program. And I think it's a nice complement because we also have a lot of trade schools here, whether that is beauty, whether we have business schools, computer schools, and again, your community colleges, things like that. And it really shows the students 9 through 12 that you can start at Eastern when you are in high school, and these are places that you can go on to for post-secondary education.
I was actually here last year and I saw the college fair and I just saw welding and I was just like, wow, that's a great program to get into. There's so many different possibilities to go into welding. Like, I could become an engineer, I could go work underwater, I could do anything with welding.
It's mandatory for students 9 through 12. So I think that every year it actually builds upon itself. In 9th grade, the students come in, and again, it's just taking a look at the names, getting familiar, asking questions about, you know, what is your college about? Where is it at? Things like that. And I think every year it builds on it. Another thing that was new this year is we opened it up to senior parents to also come in, and that's a real nice perk.
My advice to students if they come to a college fair is ask your parents, because they would get a shootout email of the list of colleges that are going to be here. Research those colleges, see if they have anything that you like to do. Maybe a specific topic, like the beauty school, of course, is people who like makeup or like to do hair. You could see if that's actually coming here. If there's not a college that's here, you can always check online. But if you really want to make the best amount of time here, definitely go around, look at everything, and look at their pamphlets. There's a lot of pamphlets on these tables that are not being taken, and that's what they're there for. Take a pamphlet, sign your name, they'll email you information, and you can talk with friends, of course, and ask what they're interested in. Maybe help them find a college if you already know what you're going to do.
With the ever-rising cost of tuition, it's extremely important to make an informed decision about the schools students decide to attend and the subjects they decide to study. This fair provides an important leg up in that process. Next, we'll spot Mrs. Martin, a family and consumer science teacher at that high school. Mrs. Martin's Food for Life class teaches students valuable culinary skills by having them create meals using a combination of 3 kitchen appliances. The lesson is called Small Appliance Round Robin. Take a look.
This is the first lab of what we call Small Appliance Round Robin 1. They get to pick from about 14 small appliances, everything you can imagine that a kitchen would want, and they choose a recipe that's related to that small appliance. So Round Robin 1 consists of 3 labs, 3 appliances, 3 different foods. They had an option this time if they wanted to do extra credit and use 2 appliances within 1. I don't have a group doing it this round, but second round, when they get a little more familiar with these appliances, they'll pick up another appliance and figure it out. But it is a lot of fun because then they're able to see what's worth purchasing and what isn't worth purchasing. What this will do, okay, lift up. This will help you in the cooking process and still make your hamburger juicy without, many people flatten them with flipper turners on the grill, and that takes the juice right out. If you do your thumbprint, you don't need to do that, and the juice will stay in, stays right in, okay? Okay, so in this package, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 breasts. But what I want to show you, we're selling. Who does your filleting at your uncle? And then who pounds it? Okay, so normally, anybody here ever have a chicken cutlet? They're thin and they have a nice coating on the outside. What has happened here is they've taken a long knife, it's called a fillet knife, it actually says it. They've pressed their hand down and they've gone all the way down the middle of the whole entire breast, so it leaves you with 2 pieces, okay? And then what the restaurant will do will be pound both sides with the meat mallet to get it nice and thin and tender. The purpose of me bringing you up here today is because Green Kitchen is not going to use all this breast today. They're only going to use 2. So when this happens, and it will happen with us, if you don't use it all, it goes in a Ziploc bag, sealed and written on the front, air out of it. Now you have to take the air out for me because my hands have chicken on them. And you're gonna label the front with a marker for breasts. That's gonna go in the refrigerator because I already know that a group is using this chicken tomorrow. If no one's using this chicken Wednesday or Thursday, where's that chicken gonna go? Freezer, okay? You must learn to respect this food. If you would leave it out in a tray like this and wrap it, which believe it or not, I've had kids do, the chicken will go bad within 24 hours because the air in the refrigerator will contaminate this.
In some respects, like, it can be challenging. Like there's parts when you would have to say, like, if you want to do this in real life, you would actually have to know what you have to go to the market for, what you're going to be cooking, how much to be cooking, and then in some aspects it can be easy depending on what recipe you're doing.
Yeah, it depends how you are with the food too. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of work, and it does deal with a lot of work, but if you know what you're doing, if you just pay attention in class, it's fun. It is fun.
It's a good life skill though.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that. Look at that.
And it looks beautiful. You don't have to sample half a burger. These guys made some delicious Lowry's burgers. When you work with waffles or pancakes, never use an electric beater. Always use a rubber scraper or a whisk. Because when you overbeat that mixture, you're gonna have tough waffles or tough pancakes.
There's like a lot of freedom. You get to choose your own recipes and that you kind of do whatever you want. It's not like strict where like Best of Baking, you have to cook what the teacher wants. It's like whatever you guys want to do.
I've learned a lot. Like, I love to bake and cook actually, and like my grandma has like all these appliances I can use at my house to make anything I want. So all these skills is like very useful to me.
They did a good job for their first day of small appliances. This was really good. They still have to get the hang of they've only got 80 minutes because they all have a tendency to just maybe not pay attention to it, but they're getting better. So I think they did really good. And what will be the test is the next 2 days, how quickly they can get these foods out and prepared. And garnish, that's the biggest thing this lab. Garnishing is the first thing it's the first lab they've used garnishing, so they've done really well so far.
Oh, she's awesome. She's a great teacher. Yeah, she teaches us like all the skills in the kitchen.
And then what to do.
Yeah, she's very friendly. Yeah. She's a great teacher. This is my second year having her, and she's a great teacher. I love having her. I wish I can have her again, but after graduate, so.
All that food certainly looked delicious. Mrs. Martin allows students to decide which appliances to use and what dishes to make them with, giving students a lot of freedom to experiment and learn. Those skills will certainly be helpful to the students as they continue to become more independent. Now it's time for Mr. Anderson to give us the highlights of the boys and girls soccer teams, the volleyball and field hockey teams, and the Wall of Fame football game. Here's the Hatter Sports Report.
We begin our Hatters Sports Report with the girls volleyball team taking on Wissahickon back in mid-September. The Hatters dominated this match, taking 3 straight games and winning under an hour. Junior Sam Jones led the offense with 9 kills and 7 aces, and sophomore Casey Quattro contributed with 8 kills. The Hatters easily took control of the match, winning 25-4, 25-7, and 25-12. The Lady Hatters finished the season with a 12-2 league record, advancing to the second round of the district playoffs. Congratulations on a great season, ladies. Now off to boys soccer. The 2-6 Hatters taking on Souderton back on October 3rd. The game went 41 minutes without a goal until senior Kyle Parkinson scored the first goal of the game in the 42nd minute of the second half. Hatters up 1-0. Just 2 minutes later, Chris Hobbs scores on this penalty kick to give the Hatters a 2-0 lead. Hatters defense doing a great job keeping Souderton off the scoreboard. The Hatters would go on to win 2-0 for their 4th shutout of the season. They would finish the year with a 4-8-1 league record. Now on to field hockey. A huge game for the 9-3-1 Hatters taking on the undefeated CB South team. The Titans strike first, though, scoring a goal with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. CB South up 1-0. Hatters goalkeeper Emily Bromwell kept the red and black close by her amazing 20-save effort. We pick up the action in the second half. The Lady Hatters down 1-0 when Carly Baldus scored this goal to tie the game at 1. The game would remain tied until the end of regulation. Now in overtime, the Titans scored first in sudden death to win the game 2-1 and keep their undefeated streak going. The Hatters would reach the playoffs, losing again to CB South in the semifinal playoff match 2-0. The Red and Black would finish their successful season with a 15-5-1 overall record. Congratulations, ladies. Now on to girls soccer, the 2-5-2 Lady Hatters taking on 5-0 CB East back on October 1st. No score in the first half. CB East attacking when Brianna Cummings makes a nice save to keep the Patriots off the scoreboard. We pick up action later in the first half. The Patriots have the ball in the Hatters' territory when Emily Lovings beats Brianna and scores in the 28th minute to give CB East a 1-0 lead. Now in the second half, Hatters on the attack. Lauren Brophy hoping to break through the defense when she is tackled. Lady Hatters having a few opportunities to score, but can't afford to miss chances. Later in the second half, the Patriots find a seam in the Hatters' defense, and Molly Kaplan kicks a past Cummings to extend the CB East lead 2-0. That would be all the offense the Patriots would need as they go on to defeat the Lady Hatters 2-0. The Red and Black would finish out the season with a 6-10-2 record. The Hatters Athletic Wall of Fame inductees being honored before the CB West game on October 18th. Now on the game action. Early in the first quarter, Marvin Todd from CB West takes the handoff and goes right up the gut for a 55-yard TD run. Extra point was good and CB West takes an early 7-0 lead. Still in the first, Hatters running back Kingsley Moreau takes the handoff and explodes for a 68-yard TD run. Hatters tie the game after the extra point, 7 each. Still in the first quarter, CB West at the Hatters' 36-yard line. Marvin Todd gets the handoff and runs 36 yards for his second touchdown of the game. Hatters do not have an answer for him. CB West up 41-7 with seconds left in the clock when Hatters sophomore quarterback Casey Walsh connects with John O'Malley for a touchdown. CB West led 41-14 going into the half and would go on to win 47-21. O'Malley would have 6 catches for 198 yards and a touchdown and 9 rushes for 94 yards and a touchdown. O'Malley totaled 292 yards of total offense for the game. And that concludes the Hatters Sports Report. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks for that report, Mr. Anderson. On our next show, Mr. Anderson will highlight a whole group of athletes who signed college letters of intent, as well as highlights from the Thanksgiving Day game. That will do it for this edition of News You Can Use. Thanks for staying up to date on everything going on in the Hatboro-Horsham School District. We'll see you next time right here on HHTV. Take care, everyone.